Hey Kayla, just looking at your poster here. I mean, I'm noticing like this text box has some extra text in it. Sometimes if you push W on your keyboard, you can kind of take it off to the side. So push W again, and we can bring it back over and center it as best we can. Let's see. This was looking really blurry to me earlier, but it doesn't look so bad. But I was looking at the PSD file. It's in CMYK, but the effective PPI at this size is 150. It looks cool. I like it in kind of this watercolor style. I would use the this tool, Free Transform, push Shift, and just I would size it down so that when we go into Links panel, the effective PPI gets a little bit better. You might have to bring it down quite a bit. If you got to 250 or above, that would be okay. I think this size is actually okay. I would actually maybe, I like this font. If you want to make it look like it's bolded a little bit, you could experiment. I don't know if it'll look good, but the stroke, you could put, a black stroke on it to match the fill color, and then instead of 1 point, we could go to like, I don't know, 0.5 maybe. And that might help. Maybe adding a little bit more color would be good. Let's see, kid-friendly event, lawn, chairs and blankets. You could say bring lawn chairs. It's just a little bit shorter, so you don't have quite so much. And maybe say provided by Streetery and maybe use an ampersand. Let's see. I would use, if you're going to use this font, I would use it probably on, let's see, what's this? There's some things kind of hard to get a hold of this text box because there's other stuff. So it's Myriad. This might be Myriad as well then. I spelled provided wrong. If you go to edit spelling, you can check dynamic spelling when you push W on your keyboard. Oops, I don't want to do it inside of there, but it'll show you what you spelled wrong. Streetery is actually spelled like this because the eat is in the middle. So I would say, like, if you're talking about Streetery and Vic's Place, you might want to put this here, and maybe you got to size these down. They're just too big. And I know it is Logo City for sure. And that's one of the things about graphic design is that, you're always kind of, let's crop this out. It makes it a little bit nicer looking. You're always kind of having to deal with these limitations and these things that you're like, well, that's not fun to have to find a spot for this stuff, but it's not like fine art. You have to make changes based on what's necessary for the project, which can be challenging at times, definitely. And then we could, rotate this a little bit more like that, so there's slightly more room. I can't get a hold of this little logo. If I push Command and then click, I can get a hold of different layers of things. Maybe move it out. And then maybe just copy paste this, like, and then say don't miss out on your chance. Let's see here. The Weddings Pants Festival will take place during this event. Or something, I don't know. Something like that. Obviously spelled right, but it's kind of long, so might need to fix that a little bit, but I'm liking this font. I wonder if you shouldn't just make all of this the same font. I mean, if I double, oh gosh, sorry. If I double click in there, use this tool, hopefully that, okay. Okay, so let's shrink that box up so I can actually get this. What is this? Okay, so I'm going to take this edge because it's in the way and I can't get a hold of anything when I grab that. So I'm going to move it closer around the microphone. I think there's an extra box here too. I don't know what that's for. So let's see. I want to make that, if I highlight it, use the eyedropper tool and click on that, I feel like I should be able to get that to work on this text, but it's not working for some reason. Should be able to sample it. Ugh. Oh, there's an extra box here. Maybe that's why. Okay, let's try again. Sometimes if there's a box over something when you try to sample, it won't work because it's sampling from the box that's over the top instead of. So let's center. And I would just make everything this text. I mean, it doesn't all have to be. I kind of like this the same size, but you could actually make this bigger because it's actually really important information. Of course, you don't want it on more than 4 lines. You might want to move this over a little bit to make room. Maybe move this up slightly. And then I would change these texts to be this text. So what is it? Good Life. So probably size it up. You could even put a box behind this of color, you know, just to kind of give yourself a little bit more color in your design. I don't know. We can double click here and come up with a custom color. I'm just going to kind of find something. Oops. Kind of like that, maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the best color for this, but maybe something like that, just to kind of give it a little. You're kind of mimicking this box up here too, which would be good. And then I would just make this text, and this text, that text as well. I think your placement of the logos is working pretty well with the guitar in between. You could even maybe make this a little bit bigger with the free transform tool. If you push E on your keyboard, I believe that should get the free transform tool. And you could even arrange send to front so that it's kind of overlapping, because then that creates a little depth in the design, which also is helpful. And maybe lining these two things up, top edge on these. If you're in Essentials Classic, or actually just go into the Properties panel, scroll down with both of them selected and align the top edges. Obviously, you know, we need to make the text probably smaller and, you know, make the text boxes probably like a little bit more like this. And maybe even center the text inside of the text boxes. And then maybe line up these logos a little bit better. You know what I'm saying. But this is basically kind of, you know, maybe an idea for each side of this. Center these. Oops, that did not work. It's because this Red Ants Pants is, the frame around it is not really fitting it properly. So maybe let's try again. And then we can probably move these down a little bit because there's nothing down here. Obviously you would change the text on the font, I guess, on these text boxes. And, you know, this Red Ants Pants thing is a little long-winded. If you can find a way to kind of edit the text so it's not quite so much text, that would be helpful. And these could even be shrunk down even more. I mean, they're still 2 inches by 1.6 inches. Like, that's big for a logo. Like, you could go as small as 1 inch wide on these. So this can shrink down quite a bit. I would use the same font on these 2 boxes though, and try and line them up and try and kind of, you know, and this could be the thing that separates them, and you could kind of overlap it, which looks good. You know, this could be actually, this K on the KNMC might look good lined up with this. So I'm liking this pretty well. You might want to add a border to the whole thing if you have room. I wouldn't go too close to the edge. but you know, you might want to bring in some more color is the only thing that I'm thinking. One thing to experiment too would be if you go to Window, Effects, there is an effects panel like Photoshop, and you can do like multiply to this, and that might be kind of cool. I don't know. This color is really bright, but you can kind of see through it. You could even change the opacity on it so you could see the watercolor paper a little bit better. But you could put this on your whole document. I mean, I wouldn't put it over the top of your images. I would put it just over the background that you have. So like I'm going to click and drag and select both these things and then go to Properties, Arrange, Send to Back. And you know, you could do something like this. I mean, I don't think this pink color is necessarily the way to go, but I just want to show you that you could put more color into your design and do the multiply in the effects panel to create more color in the background at least of your design. And you could even put a solid fill color on this box potentially. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but just an idea. I don't necessarily think this is like the right color or anything, but it's just an idea for adding a little bit more color. I'm a big fan of color, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, oops, I didn't mean to grab that one. It doesn't necessarily mean that you should listen to my advice, but something to experiment with, and if you like it, then go with it. Maybe something like that, or something similar. You would have to mess around with it to see what you like. But anyway, that's about all I got for you. Hopefully that's helpful, and we'll talk to you later.